So my name's Ken Worthing. I'm an expert by experience and a carer. I've been caring for my mum now for 15 years. She had a stroke and lost her speech, and she was paralysed on her right hand side. At the time she had a stroke, it was on Boxing Day 2009, and I was actually visiting from uni. I was on a break, and from that day on I became my mum's main carer. Had not known anything about social services. I was 21 at the time, a university student enjoying my university time. So it was quite frightening, but nobody tells you you're going to be a carer. You just end up being one overnight. So, yeah.
And we were just in a session where you said you'd had very different experiences of social services.
Yeah.
You'd had some excellent experiences, you'd had some poor experiences.
Yeah.
So what makes for a good experience and a bad experience? What stands out from those?
Okay, a bad experience in the beginning. People always saw me as like a young person, and I wasn't taken seriously, and I didn't know what social care was. So I kept on getting different social workers all the time, and they were like agency staff, so they would always be coming and going. So when I wanted to contact in order to pursue something about my mum, they wouldn't know about it because it would be a different person coming out all the time. But the excellent service that I've had is having the same carer support worker all the time and the same social worker for a good number of years, and that got my life stable and encouraged me and gave me confidence to manage my caring role, and also let me have a life of my own. So those two social workers helped me to balance my lifestyle out, because my mum was getting the support she needed, but there was also somebody supporting me to get mine.
And you were saying that you now get involved with training newly qualified social workers at Solihull?
Yeah, in Solihull Borough.
So what kind of stuff does that involve? What do you sort of tell them?
Okay, so I'll just tell them my experiences. So it's newly qualified social workers, and what happens is the session involves a career development officer from the council in social care, and then me as a carer, and then somebody that uses services, and we deliver a session. And my part will be I just tell them about my experiences, about my cultural needs and things that they need to think about when they're visiting people that have cultural needs, or they've got learning disabilities and things like that. So trying to make them think, when you go in there, even though I might be the same as the next black person, my aspirations are still going to be different, and I want the outcomes that I want for my life. And I think it's about building relationships. In order to get social workers need to build relationships with people so they can get the right information out of them, and then people can trust them and open up, and then they'll understand their aspirations as well.
And in that session there was a lot of talk about co-production, which is a bit of a jargony word.
Yeah.
What does co-production mean to you, and how can social workers make it happen?
Okay, so co-production is when you've got people working together on an equal basis from the beginning of an idea to an end of an idea. It doesn't mean picking when you want to work with that person and not wanting to work with that person. Social workers need to work with somebody from the assessment straight through to their support plan. And there should be facilitators, social workers, and forget about the processes that they have to go through. When you're doing assessments and support planning, let that person lead. And the Care Act talks about personalisation and people leading, and I think that's what social workers need to do. And I think some of the things that social workers find out when they go out in the community, bring that back to the organisation and share it. There should be a system where they're able to share the information so their peers can learn from it. But the way with processes, how processes are, they're not given enough time to think differently and work in an innovative way.
So if there was one thing, social workers sort of reading this, listening to this, could do, one thing, if you could say, go back to your desks, and this is the thing to do, what would it be?
I'd say start taking risks, and I think the Care Act, take risks to get to people's outcomes, safeguarding risks, like safely, but I think create relationships with the people that you're working with, because I think you'll get your job done much quicker.
What kind of risks?
Just so challenge your organisation on, say, like if somebody wants to spend their direct payment on a way that they've not known it's been spent on yet, don't just say no straight away, or don't go and challenge your manager with it. Go with it and really have the evidence to say why you think this person, it would benefit that person to get to that outcome. Gain more confidence in yourselves. The Care Act's here for people like social workers, and I think that's the need to just go with it and take those risks, make more decisions.